Hey, and welcome to Manx As The Hills podcast. Come join the conversation with your host Chris Parker as we explore behind the scenes of what expat life is really like in China. And don't forget, if this is your first time joining us, check out our social media channels on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Hello everybody and welcome to Manx As The Hills podcast. This is a podcast journey about myself and my family and the expat community here in China, bringing their real life stories and their experiences, knowledge and motivational quotes and anything else in between to you globally online. My name is Chris Parker. I am the host and director of Manx As The Hills podcast, and this podcast journey has been brought together by a group of people, not just myself, but people behind me supporting me to do this project, to bring the world information and experiences of the local expat community here in China. I just want to say a big thank you to everybody who supported not only myself, but also those that have joined with me on this podcast journey, for all your encouragement, whether it be on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. Guys, everything that you have done to encourage me to move forward with this project, I really appreciate it. This is a project that I actually started 3 years ago. However, due to COVID and the logistical operations behind going from an offline working platform to an online working platform, whilst also trying to support my team and my department in doing so as well, it just didn't happen. However, I've revitalized the project, gave it a new branding name, something that's down to earth, that I feel will give a solid foundation to what's to come in this podcast journey. Well, Manx As The Hills is a podcast designed for the expat community, those that are thinking about traveling abroad or stepping out of the comfort zone of their own home to explore the world and what life is really like when you do that. We plan to bring in special guests to share their experiences with you online as to what life is really like here in China, but also a lot of expats have traveled globally, and to share that with you, some of the pitfalls, the dangers, the benefits that they've experienced from doing so that you, if you choose to explore the world and work abroad or become an expat, whether it's by yourself or with your family, you have the knowledge and the toolkit behind you so that you are more prepared. But not only that, you can join us for the experience. Where did the name come from, Manx As The Hills? Well, for those that don't know, I'm originally from the Isle of Man. And if you're from the Isle of Man, you are Manx. Now, I've been born and raised in the Isle of Man for almost 20 years. For the last 15 years, I've lived in China. I wanted to kind of connect the two, and the term Manx As The Hills grounds this podcast. Basically, Manx As The Hills means that you are from the Isle of Man and you know it very well, that you know every hill, every mountain, every valley. You're as Manx as they come. And I wanted to give this podcast a solid foundation that though I've lived in China for almost 15 years, I mean that's a long time, I'm also from one of the smallest countries in the world. And to do that, I had to break barriers. I had to encourage and motivate family and people around me to support what I was doing. And sure, not everybody did, but I made a choice for me. And today I am very happy of that choice. So what will this journey include? Well, first off, it includes myself. So I'm the producer here. I do a lot of the editing, the video production and the recordings. However, there are a lot of people here in the expat community that really have come alongside me who want to join this podcast journey, because they also feel that sharing their knowledge, their experiences with you online can only benefit the community here that we live in. There are a lot of people that we meet daily, yearly, that just arrive, fresh off the boat, as we might say. So we want to prepare them for what's to come and give them the tools and the knowledge and the insight that might take some expats many years to get. I just want to say finally a big thank you to everybody for all your support. This is a very short introduction as to what Manx As The Hills is and what's to come. I thank you for everybody staying tuned, and I hope that you can subscribe to our social media channels, our podcasts, whether it be on SoundCloud or through podcasts, which is my favorite podcast app. But with all that said, guys, I just want to say a big thank you to you, our community. All your support, your messages of encouragement for us to move forward with this project, especially myself, guys, it just means the world, and I thank you. With that said, guys, have a fantastic day. We look forward to having you join us on this podcast journey, and until next time, we hope that you enjoy our podcast. And after all, this is why we're doing it, for you. This is Chris Parker, your host, Manx As The Hills, signing out. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to stay up to date on our latest podcast episodes. Click that follow button on our social media channels. Until next time, this is your host, Chris Parker.